Hey, welcome to Girl Talk. We are filming here at the fabulous Bella Domicile, and we're going to talk about all kinds of things today. We're going to talk a little bit about diet. We're going to talk about spring finally being here, and later we've got a treat for you. Actually, we're going to travel to a home that Bella Domicile and the experts have remodeled one of the kitchens. It's going to be a fabulous treat. We'll get to that later. But after you're done with your remodel, what do you need to do? You start thinking decor. So, perfect segue. We've got Doug Zander joining us from Zander's Design Studio, and we're so excited to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, I have a lot of questions for you.
Okay.
But first, let's start with some basics. What, in your opinion, why would you hire an interior designer? What are the main things?
I think a lot of it gets down to, everything is getting to be very costly now when you're purchasing items. And so, making mistakes can be not the best way of going about it. So usually a designer has the ability to help you assess your needs, take a look at your spaces, scale furniture out, and kind of find out just what your needs are. And that's generally, it's kind of a good base to start with.
Absolutely.
That's interesting to think that you think, oh, it's going to cost money, but you're right. When you aren't sure and you're kind of experimenting, that can cost money too.
Right.
Better do it right the first time.
Mistakes
Yes.
can be more costly, certainly.
So of all the
Definitely.
places that you can find furniture nowadays, why buy furniture from a designer?
Buying online, as we all do, a variety of things, it's a little different when you are then responsible for not only making the purchase, which usually ends up being an upfront cost. You have to take a delivery of it, so you have to make arrangements to have it, whether it's delivered to your home and having someone there to help execute the delivery.
Yeah, which can be such a pain.
And then if there's issues with it.
Correct.
So that's often is something that a designer has the ability to not only, we usually work with clients that are concerned about having it kind of taken care of correctly right from the get-go. So scale of furniture, purchasing out, you know how it's going to sit. You can kind of relay that to the client, the fabrics that go onto it, or the finishes of the furniture, and then the inspection of it, which is all done by us before it's even delivered. So you kind of lose that whole gray area of not knowing until it shows up whether you're going to like it or not.
Sure, I hate that sticker too, assembly required.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And a lot of times you don't find it until it arrives.
You start scrambling with all the pieces, hoping
Right.
it's all there. And
Right,
thinking,
right.
Yeah.
So I think we've all been in the situation where we're looking at a magazine and we're like, that's really cool, I would like that. But then you start looking into it and you're like, okay, I need paint, I need drapes, I need flooring, and then I get overwhelmed. So, but I imagine that that's probably a delight to a designer. Is that
Yeah,
the
I think
case?
that's, we love to have people bring in concepts of things that they like, and then hopefully we can, take an assessment of how they're going to use the space, how it's going to affect their family, and then be able to kind of give them a look that they like, but actually, we may tweak it so it ends up being maybe a little bit of a better usage of it. And with so often is the fabrics, how it wears, how you're using it has an effect on how you want to make that selection, because it makes a big difference.
I didn't think about that.
Right.
I suppose for furnishings,
Yeah,
right?
makes a big difference.
And I'm interested too because everybody's got, as they're sort of designing their space, whether they're moving into a new place or doing a redesign, we've all got our own little personal items that we want to keep. So what do you do to kind of bring those things in as we're bringing in all the new?
Well, I think that's what's important, that gives you the look in the end that's your look and not a designer look. So, we're really about taking a look at, the things that are the most important to you, whether it's a piece that you inherited from your grandmother, or it's, a wedding gift, or whatever it might be that really means something to you. And there's always ways of incorporating it. It's always nice to know that in advance. So as you're looking at purchasing new things, that's something that you keep in mind that you're going to work with and place it correctly.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that idea of keeping it personal and not just a designer look.
Right. I mean, otherwise it looks like it's something in a magazine, or you went to a local store and just bought a room.
Right.
And now that is so, in this day and age, that's so not done.
I'm sure there are many techniques that you incorporate to make it a designer look, but also bring it closer to home. Which is great.
Definitely. And that's, again, the reason why I think most designers have, it's an asset to have one involved.
And you really need to find, what works with your own personal style, but then we really get the opportunity to get your expertise in that combination at kind of a meeting of minds to find what's right for the right person.
Definitely. Definitely.
The perfect trifecta of function, style, and I suppose their budget.
Yep.
Right?
Budget always.
Well, Doug, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. We
Thank
could,
you.
of course, talk to you longer, but we got to go, and we
Okay.
appreciate it. And we'll have to have you back. So
Thank you
thanks
very
so
much.
And stick
Thanks.
around because we'll be back with more Girl Talk here at Bella Domicile. We're talking diet, and you'll find out more after this.
Hi, and welcome back to Girl Talk. We're here at the beautiful Bella Domicile with Tori Penn from Penn Fusion Fitness. He's going to talk to us about carbs, proteins, and hopefully the right kind of fats, maybe
Correct.
the wrong ones as well,
Right.
which I definitely need help on. So let's not take up any more of your time. Like, break it down right away. What proteins do we need?
Okay. A lot of the times, if people are trying to get healthy and they try to, better themselves, they hear eat a well-balanced diet. And a lot of times it's, protein, carbs, fats, even some fiber in your diet. Well, for a lot of people it's, well, what's a good protein source? What's a good carbohydrate source? What's a good fat source? Where can I get some fiber from? Why do I need fiber? So there's just a few little tips that sort of people can sort of take home to realize, well, if I need some protein, what is a good option for me? And for protein, the easiest thing to think about is animals. Okay, animals are a great source, whether it be from chickens, beef, fish, poultry, turkey, chicken, whatever it is. That's a good protein source. It's going to get predominantly more protein than anything else in your diet.
Okay.
Carbohydrates are going to be fruits, vegetables, anything that you grow from the earth. The majority of that is all going to be mostly your carbs.
That's interesting because you generally don't think of fruits and vegetables as carbohydrates,
Right.
but you're right. I mean, there's
Immediately, I think of like pasta.
Yep.
And that's where that's where carbs get the bad rap. Is I think people do forget that fruits and vegetables are carbohydrates,
Right.
and that's our main source for energy, right?
Right, yep,
So
yep.
we do need them.
Definitely. Carbs are definitely good for us, and they're not a bad thing. And so it's, well, where can I get these carbohydrates from, and what are good sources, or things that are giving me energy or sustain, and those kinds of aspects. So,
Are there specific, when we say generally fruits and vegetables, are there specific ones that we should be shooting for, like?
a lot of the times, like your berries have a lot more antioxidants in them. Your apples have a lot of good fiber source in them. The darker the vegetable, the more fiber content that you can have into it. So, you root for
That's a
your
good guide.
spinach, and your darker your beets, they're gonna have more fiber in them, and they're predominantly all fiber. So your vegetables, an abundance of those on your plate is not going to be very much carbohydrates, and the carbohydrates they are mainly going to be from fiber. Whereas your grains, your oatmeal, or your oats, and those kinds of stuff are higher carbohydrates, but they still have some fiber in them, and they're good for you. The starches are good for you. It's just, okay, I have, I need a smaller meal, but I'm really hungry. Well, then a lot of vegetables in that meal is going to fill you up.
Right.
So.
I'm hearing a lot of balance. It sounds like just knowing to have balance, because if you eat all berries, for example, you're getting a lot of antioxidants, but maybe not as much fiber.
Yep.
So
It's good to alternate your diet. It's good to sort of have, today I'm going to have some berries. I'm going to have some spinach and broccoli today. Maybe tomorrow I have some asparagus, and I have some, beets, or whatever the case is. It's good to sort of, find the food that you like and just, alternate them, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I actually kind of do that a little bit. When I'm hungry, I'll look in the fridge and like, well, I already had 2 yogurts today, and I already had an apple, and so I kind of eliminate, and that helps me decide what to have.
that's a good rule. Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
For sure.
And in the freezer, like.
In the fridge.
So what about regarding proteins? What if you're a vegetarian?
There's a lot of good plant-based proteins out there. You can get plant-based protein powders. They can get them in flavored. You can get them unflavored. As far as sources, a lot of sources, good sources are legumes. Your grains. Beans are an excellent source. A serving of beans, depending on the type of beans that they are going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 grams of carbs. They're going to have a good amount of fiber in about 7 or 8 grams, and they're going to have 7 to 9 grams of protein per serving. So your beans, your fibers, or your legumes, like your lentils, really high sources of protein to sort of help those people out that choose that path or want to go that path too.
There's
So.
a lot to know. This is why you're the diet doc. We need your tips. But
I try.
real quick before we go, talk to us a little bit about fat sources.
Yep.
What are good fat sources?
A lot of the fat sources, when you think fats, think of oily. Think of either you cook it up, it gets really oily, or your liquid based, your olive oils, your avocado oils, your, grapeseed oils. The types of oils are going to be your predominantly fats. So, when you're trying to plan a meal, you're hungry for lunch, you're hungry for dinner, the first source you want to go to is protein, because the majority of people lack the amount of protein that they need in their diet. So the first thing you want to go is, okay, I want a protein source. So what sounds good? What do you have in the fridge? Okay, I'm going to have this. So pick that protein source. Now I'm going to go with carbohydrate. Okay, well, I want some fruits or I want some vegetables. Great. Now pick a fat source. So that's your best way to do it. And then for those people that really struggle or get to that point, that's where you need to sort of have, like me, help you out based on the amount of protein, carbs, and fat you need each day in your meal.
Absolutely. I didn't hear M&Ms mentioned in
No,
there.
not mentioned.
Where they fit?
Well, Tori, thank you so much. If your
My
head
pleasure.
is spinning with all the information, give Tori Penn a call, the Diet Doc of Madison. We're going to be right back and learn about 2015 trends in bridal. Stick around.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. So glad to have you with us. Well, this is the time of year. Cinderella, the movie's out. There's proms, there's weddings. Everybody wants to be a princess.
I do. Who doesn't?
Well, we all want to be treated like a princess. But no one better to help you dress like a princess than our own here, Brandy Niemer from Brandy's Bridal Galleria out in New Glarus. Love having you. Thanks for visiting with us.
Thanks for having us.
So lots to talk about. Let's start with bridal stuff. So if someone's getting married in 2015-16, when should they start shopping, or is it too late?
Now.
Yeah.
We like
Like
to get
last
to
month?
it now. Yes. We do have a lot of brides coming in now whose wedding is still this year, and we can definitely pull it off. Actually, the other day we had somebody coming in and their wedding was in May. So we can still make these quick weddings work.
No time like the present.
Exactly, yes.
Not too late.
But definitely buying your dress is one of the first three things you want to do once you get engaged, and buying your dress will set the whole tone for your entire wedding. So
And it's
cross it
also
off early.
one of the first three things you actually want to do,
Right,
too.
yes.
You know what I mean? We get so excited about the dress, and that kind of sets the tone for the whole thing.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit. I'll live vicariously through the brides coming up now. What kinds of trends are you seeing for bridal for this year in gowns?
Yeah, it's really fun this year. This year we've seen everything from the sleek, slinky gowns to fun, poofy ball gowns. There's a lot of textured fabric now, a lot of illusion on the front, illusion on the back with just gorgeous beading. Backs are becoming really popular now. Everybody realizes a bride is seen a lot of the day just from her back. And she wants to make that really stand out now. So there's a lot of fun things.
That's a really interesting point. You're right. People do see the back.
Yeah.
Lots of pictures. I love that everything
Yes.
is kind of okay to go with, because brides come
Right.
in all sizes, and to try to fit into something that everybody else is wearing is it's not right. So I
No,
love
those
that.
days are gone.
Good. Very good.
Anything goes, we're learning.
Yep, yeah.
True that. Keeping with the trends, though, I've been a bridesmaid before, and luckily she picked out a fabulous bridesmaid's dress. And I know that hasn't always happened, but what are the trends that you're seeing for bridesmaids dresses in 2015?
Trends in bridesmaids right now are kind of similar with bridal. Anything goes. We used to see every summer there was like one or two like strong colors that everybody was doing. This year it's everything from royal blue to soft corals, back to a plum, and then to bright yellows. So it's really everything this year. And we actually just got in a new dresses that are ombre style. So they're like darker on the top, and they work into lighter on the bottom.
Oh, how
And
pretty.
They're just a fun something different that you can still have a party of 7 or 8 girls and they can all wear the same dress.
Kind of like that fabulous Taylor Swift dress. Did you see that?
Yes.
That beautiful blue.
Yes,
and that was
exactly.
awesome.
Ombre in clothes now. We see
Right.
Elise rocking her ombre
Right.
hair. And it's kind of
Very
interesting,
similar,
yeah, that we get to do it in both elements. Neat.
Very cool. And you have mother of the bride, mother of the groom dresses as well. I mean, your place is huge, so you've got room for those dresses too.
We do. We fit a bunch of those in. Yes, and we do pride ourselves in being the not frumpy mom store. Moms nowadays want to have as much
Yeah.
fun as the bride, and they're supposed to be the second best dressed person at the wedding next
Absolutely.
to the bride. So we have a lot of the fun, funky, different trends, whether it's short dresses or long, flowy, fancy dresses. We have it all for moms.
That's so nice too, because what a huge day for mom too. Your son or
Right.
daughter is getting married, and it's just such a treat to be able to be a part of that. So that's neat that you get to look sexy as a mom too.
That's right. Show it off.
But let's talk more on keeping with the trends. This is exciting to find out. So prom is coming up. What are the girls wearing this year?
They're wearing everything. They're wearing a lot of poofy ball gowns in all sorts of fun, crazy, bright colors.
Yeah.
They're wearing more of like a mermaid dress, and again, in all these different colors, and there's huge, chunky, fun beading on everything now. It's getting a lot more intricate than it has been in the past. Crop top, like two-piece dresses are in style now, so it's making prom for 2015 a lot of fun.
Yeah, but they're tasteful looking.
Oh, definitely,
It's
yes.
not your whole
You're not-
midriff. It's
right.
just it's like a cute
Just
little
a little bit
cutaway.
showing, and
yeah.
then some girls you can't even tell the difference
Yeah.
that it is a two-piece dress.
Right, I have one of those short bodies where like a two-piece is just
Yep.
pretty much a one
Yeah.
piece. We're right at the end of our time, but it's so busy at your place. Are you hiring?
We are. We're looking for bridal stylists, and we're actually looking for a seamstress to add into our alterations department.
Good
so
to
send
know.
us a resume at brandysbridal@yahoo.com.
Very
That's a
good.
fun place to work.
We've got to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll be with Bella Domicile. Fun stuff before and after a kitchen remodel. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. Well, as promised, we are getting to chat with the experts from Bella Domicile. We've talked to them about a lot of things over the past few months. We've got to talk about different options for your kitchen and bath, different stylings, and last month we actually talked to them about some new trends. But as promised, we have a special treat for you. We have moved out of the showroom and we are on location getting to see a kitchen project that the masters over at Bella Domicile have worked on. And first of all, John, thank you so much for inviting us into your home. We're excited to be here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
What an exciting treat. So we're here at the Wedgwood home where Carly has worked her magic, and it's beautiful. So thank you for showing this off for us today.
Absolutely, we're excited.
And I want to talk to you about the background on this kitchen project. So this actually won honorable mention for the Nari Cody Awards this year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this home was quite the transformation. It initially, when John and Megan bought the house, the dining room over here didn't even have a ceiling. The transition from the kitchen area to the dining room was 4 inches difference because of all the layers in this room. There were just so many updates that needed to be done. There was even a vent in the walkway that was kind of an issue. So coming and making this transformation was huge for that award.
Absolutely, and what an outstanding transformation. Looking around, I got to see photos before, and it is just absolutely a different space. You have made it into a whole new kitchen, and it's just beautiful. And so it was an extensive project. So talk to us about what it was like taking on a project like this.
A project like this, or this extensive, I guess, is our thing. It's what we do. So when people walk in, like John and Megan, our clients are really looking for 2 things off the bat. 1 being the layout, and 2 being the budget. So we started with some layout ideas, a couple different options, and paired it with the budget. Then the 3 of us worked together to come up with this.
That is so exciting and just beautiful to stand in and see firsthand. And John, I'm curious for you, because there are a lot of different designers out there. What is it that made you choose Bella Domicile? How did you find them?
Well, we started off just doing a kind of basic Google search for some of the local companies in town that did this type of renovation, and Bella Domicile was one that came up, and we read some positive reviews about it. Then it happened that we were actually driving by their showroom one day, and I was like, let's stop in and see, and we thought we liked what we saw in their showroom. We made an appointment to have Carly come over and actually take a look, and then after we saw her kind of preliminary designs, we knew that we we liked what we saw.
You saw her handiwork and you
Exactly.
liked it. Yeah,
Exactly.
well, I don't blame you because she does great work. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how this has changed your lifestyle here in the home.
I mean, I think the biggest difference is that this whole space has gone from kind of a place where we go in to cook and then get out as fast as possible to like really a focal point in the house.
Yeah.
We feel a lot happier entertaining because we've got this space where it's really pleasant and it can accommodate a lot of people as well.
Yeah, and that's so important in a kitchen these days, the opportunity to entertain. It becomes kind of the hangout space when you've got a space that you love.
Yeah.
And there's so many great spaces in here. Do you have a favorite feature?
I think probably my favorite thing is the bench in the dining room by the window,
Love
which
that.
you'll see. It's it's great for just hanging out and relaxing, and then again when we're entertaining, it's a great place for people to sit.
Absolutely, and I want to kind of make mention too of the cabinet space in here. What an outstanding amount of storage space and just how useful and things too. So that has to have made a big difference.
Oh yeah, it was a huge change. Before we had just a few small cabinets and they were packed, and we actually had bought from a hardware store just like an extra metal shelf to hold surplus. So having this great amount of storage is really a boon to us.
I think
Yeah.
too, I remember you having a bunch of things out on the countertop.
Oh, yeah.
All
Yep.
your gadgets and that kind of thing.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so you can probably store the same amount of stuff or much more with it looking a lot cleaner and just not feeling cluttered.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
We got rid of the clutter.
And you could probably add a few things to your
Yeah,
collection.
we still got a little room for growth.
Yeah, you've got some room to add some things, so that's wonderful. And there's some other beautiful details that I think are really exciting, just like behind me, having the gorgeous shelves in the window that you can place some things on and have a little greenery right in your kitchen.
Yep.
And just absolutely beautiful. So really exciting things. And I want to just ask you, Carly, if there's anything else that you want to add, being the mastermind behind this particular project.
Oh, man. I just want to say thank you to you and Megan. It was a joy to work with you guys, and I mean, you kind of came in with open minds. I know that we also had a little bit of a hiccup with the HVAC, and you guys were troopers, and you were just great to work with. So thank you.
Oh yeah, it was a great
Absolutely.
project.
Well, it's absolutely gorgeous, and we're gonna kind of have to talk about some of the extra little features here, but you guys even did down to like in the designs of the knobs, things of that nature, all the little textures. So you guys actually come in and do every little piece. And now, is that something that you have a little bit of a hand in, getting to choose some of those items?
Oh yeah, there were some things that we hadn't even thought of that Carly would call us up and say, when are we have to make a decision about, like you said, the knobs and handles, and we're like, we didn't even realize that this was something that we had to put thought in. So it was nice having Carly to kind of coordinate the whole project for us and keep track of those details, so we didn't get to the end of it and realize we couldn't open drawers or.
That's important, isn't it? The little things, but that's why we have
Right.
these folks to think about the whole picture, and you get to make those decisions along the way, but you have these guys guiding you to tie everything in. And that's what I think is so impressive, is you've really taken these spaces that were already existing and tied it all together so incredibly beautifully, so it all works, and just outstanding. So great job, Carly, and folks at Bella Domicile. And John, thank you so much for having us in your home to take a look. We
Oh, it's
appreciate
my
it.
pleasure. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Well, make sure if you have a kitchen or bath remodel home to call the folks over at Bella Domicile or visit their beautiful showroom. That's it for us for Girl Talk today. Thank you so much for watching. Please join us next time.